Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey.
We're back!
And Will's bald!
I am, that's true. Week 5 of The Tonight Show with 2 RC students. What a treat. T, how are you feeling about being back for our 5th week?
You know what? Other than slightly uncomfortable with your hairstyle choice, I'm doing all right. You know, but I do kind of feel bad. Because growing up, you know, I was homeschooled. And I used to pray, I used to get on my knees and pray that the Lord would make everyone homeschool so that I could socialize with my other friends who were in school and got to experience things like prom. And my wish, you know, it kind of came true.
Yeah, it weirdly did come true. But what would you say you enjoyed most about being homeschooled?
Honestly, this is a real vanilla answer, but I loved not having to get up super early. And other than that, I don't know, the things that you could qualify as learning, like exploding Coke bottles as science.
Yeah, that's kind of a classic, honestly.
It really was. But here's the thing, Will, and this is something I'm actually a little bit nervous about. Will I lose the ability to function in normal society after this?
What do you mean?
Like, you know, like, will I be able to tell a joke?
T, I don't think you could ever tell a joke to begin with.
That's a sensitive topic, Will, and you know it.
But I get what you're saying. Like, what will shaking hands or seeing your friends face to face look like after all of this?
Yeah, like, will we invent new forms of greeting based off of social distancing?
Yeah, like, are we gonna go with more of the foot 5 approach?
That's a classic approach. Or what about the handshake from the Parent Trap? That's a sweet one.
I could see that as a very real possibility. But have you seen the Titanic greeting?
Yes, I have. But also, could you argue that that's a goodbye and not a hello? Okay, but if we're gonna go with movie greetings, The Hunger Games.
What would be the odds? So, at the start of every new year, I like to take a look at what types of new technology is going to be coming out throughout the course of the next year.
But wait, Will, isn't that hard because you have an Android and they never come out with new things?
No comment.
Got 'em! That's what I thought. But you're right, we do look to the future of 2021 for hope. And honestly, because we have nothing else going on and we're bored right now.
That is very true. So here's a list of our top inventions that could be coming in our not-too-future future.
A drum roll, please.
Number 1. From a very credible source, the interwebs, is in fact the personal 3D printer. Yeah, that's right. You could print your own golf clubs in your garage. That might be something I would do.
You honestly would. But for real though, if I had a 3D printer, I'd make so many Legos, it wouldn't be funny.
Legos?
Yeah, because then you could build your own like Lego furniture, Lego cars, but like life size. Okay, moving on. Number 2 on the list, and this really amps up the whole Zoom experience, self-charging holographic mobile phones. Now that was a mouthful, I had trouble reading it, but here's what I picture: Star Wars.
Okay, that would actually be really cool. I'll give you that one. That would make this whole quarantine experience way more fun.
Yeah, can you imagine the whole virtual prom experience with something like that? Or like virtual teachers? The future, man. The future.
Moving on. The next thing is pretty scary. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm really not okay with it. Credible sources say that Internet 3.0 is coming in 2021.
Dude, the internet is so behind Apple. We're already on like iPhone 27.
That couldn't be true. Apple sucks.
I
Hot
don't-
take, hot take.
I don't want to talk about this again, Will.
Okay, so Internet 3.0 is going to be way too invasive. This is a direct quote on what it's going to do. Your Web 3.0 browser will act like your personal assistant. The more you use your web, the browser learns more about you. Eventually, it will understand your likes and dislikes and give a specific answer for any queries that you ask.
That is scary, but also, will it be able to order me pizza without me even knowing that I yet want pizza? Because that would be amazing.
You're missing the point, T. This is essentially going to take over our lives.
Yes, but death by pizza. What a way to go. Speaking of people who don't yet know pizza is coming to their doorstep, we have a winner from our quarantine cook-off challenge this week.
Yes, and it was a toss-up.
It really was. Did you see Onion Eye's pickle sandwich?
Yes, I did, and I barfed right after. The real winner this week comes straight from middle school ministry, Emil, with some epic homemade donuts.
That's right, Emil. Be on the lookout for some za tonight.
And I even heard that it's his birthday today.
Oh yeah, happy birthday, Emil.
Yeah, super big happy birthday. Congratulations on being a year older. All right, I've been sitting next to T for long enough. So let's take a look at Hunter's quarantine cooking video.
Hey, what's up? My name's Hunter. Welcome to my swamp. So I am trying to avoid going to the grocery store to avoid spreading germs because of the coronavirus. And so I've got my friend Will behind the camera. Will, say hello to the people.
Hey guys.
We are going to show you how to catch some food out in nature because God provides. So let's go see what we can find. Oh, what are my waders? Some natural garbanzo beans. Everyone knows that these grow naturally. Listen to this, I'll just put it down real quick. Oh, real quick and easy. So you can just eat these things raw because, like I said, God provides. We are so blessed. Real good stuff, y'all. So now we're looking for some protein. We found our beans. We're looking for some fish. We're in a swamp. So let's see what we can find. Some sardines, some sardinias, in the mustard sauce, naturally. Who knew? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You ever eat one of these on a cracker? Pretty good. We're almost done, but we're gonna see what else we can find.
Hey, Hunter.
Yeah.
There's a Snickers bar over there.
What? Will,
Yeah, a Snickers bar.
you know I can't afford these calories. Idiot. Hey, I found some logs. Big game love to hang out under logs, so we're gonna try to noodle them out. Oh, what is that? Oh. It's a swamp hen. What's great about these is you can just eat them raw, look. Nothing better than a good old swamp hen. Hey, thanks for watching my quarantine shopping. Will and T, take it away. How's my hair? Does it look good?
Hunter, everything that you just did screamed Florida man. So thank you for that.
Honestly, I'm quite scarred and never moving to Florida. Okay, moving on. Like we've mentioned before, we've been a little bored. I mean, I'm talking to Will. This is the level of desperation I've come to.
Seriously, try being quarantined with me. But this week we have a challenge for you. What we want you to do is, as you're scrolling through TikTok land, send us your favorite appropriate ones.
That is right, Jesus is watching.
Yeah, so remember that. It's simple though. We want you to just hit the share button and send it to us on Instagram, Fuel2RC, MSM2RC, 2RC, Students RC, or text your leader and share a chortle.
Well, can you describe for the audience what a chortle is?
A chortle, I would say, is probably best demonstrated. It's something like a, it's pretty simple like that. Just share one, share a chortle.
That is right, and if you need a prime example of a quality TikTok, check it out.
Yeah, those are great. So bonus points if you make one. Also, I am really looking forward to this.
The real question is, will you get a TikTok from this?
Absolutely not.
All right, it's time for a game. Hunter, Nate, take it away.
Thanks, Will and T. That was awesome. Well, we have a nasty game that we want to play with you. It's called Nasty Jenga.
Nasty Jenga.
Nasty Jenga. Okay, so this is the thing. In quarantine, you've been doing a lot of movie watching.
Yeah.
You've been doing a lot of meal eating, and you've been doing way too much snacking. So we want to help motivate you to stop eating so much food by just ruining your appetite just terribly, okay? So what we've done is we've Googled the most disgusting combinations of food imaginable, and we placed them in the bowls in front of us. So this is the way the game's gonna go. I'm gonna pick a Jenga block, and each Jenga block has a number on it. Now the number will coincide with the bowl that Hunter will have to just eat like a man, okay? And here's the thing, after that bowl is gone, there's a lot of other combinations of 1s, 2s, and 3s on here. I can't pick those. I have to pick a new number. So my goal is to not knock over the Jenga blocks, and so is Hunter's. The person that knocks it over, we're gonna take every single one of these items, put it in a blender, and then drink it and pray to the Lord he does not call us home this evening. Does that make sense? Sound good, Hunter?
Sounds good.
Are you ready? Okay, I'm gonna go first because I feel like that's just my job. I should do that. You know, just kind of to just take the lead as a man and make a move. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull.
The first one will be
this
last.
easy
but-
one here, and this is a number 1. So you need
that's
to
not so
pick
bad.
your number 1. What is this? What is your number 1?
So my number 1 is apples with salt and pepper, which kind
That
of
doesn't sound as bad as
kind
you
of a
think.
dream. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kinda nice. Listen to this crunch.
I mean, it's a little bit. Oh, that does sound like a crisp apple. I love the sound of that. Wow. Ooh,
Might be
that
good.
sounds fantastic.
Honestly, not so bad.
Okay, what's gonna get worse? I guarantee you.
My
Okay,
turn. Let's.
here we go.
You want to go big?
Not too big
Oh,
though.
that's easy. That was a
Number
dream.
4.
Number
Okay.
4 for Nathaniel.
Number 4. So that for me, I'm going this way, right? So that is popcorn with ketchup on it. Now I know that might sound good, but it doesn't sound very. It doesn't. Here, I'll just.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
It's like a bear.
That's disgusting.
You look cool with your backwards hat though.
Okay.
Oh,
The next one.
next one. Keep it
Next
going.
one. Okay. Did you already do your number 1? I can't do this number 1. Okay.
Yeah, give me another
I
one.
have to go down, lower,
Lower.
lower. Oh,
Oh, there she is.
easy. Number 3.
Ooh, 3.
Number 3. What is 3 for you?
So for number
Do I have
3,
anything on my face?
you're good.
Thanks, man. Okay,
For number
go.
3, I have bread soaked in soy sauce.
Oh
I
my
personally
gosh, that's
love soy
disgusting.
sauce,
No.
especially on my sushi.
Oh, I'm so glad I don't have that one.
But there's a lot of it. Let's see how much I can get in there.
It's very soggy. Mm.
That's good.
Oh, it makes me
That's
gross.
really good stuff.
Yeah. Okay,
Okay.
here we go. Next one.
Now I'm getting another one for you.
I know 1 hasn't gone for me, so you can do with a 1. Just don't
Okay.
knock that thing over because you are going to pay for it. Number 1. Okay, so this is disgusting. I'm really actually most nervous about this.
What do you got?
This is mustard milk. So this is, I think, 1% reduced fat. Praise the Lord. But then also mixed in with mustard, which makes it look like just like horse urine, I think. I'm not quite sure. So I'm going to try to take a quick sip of this, okay?
Oh,
Okay.
nay.
I can't. That's way too disgusting. I can't. No. Okay. Let's put that down.
You're handling it like a man.
Okay.
I just have so much bread in my mouth. Look.
Okay, we just gotta get this game over with. This is too much to play. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Number 2. You already have a number 2?
No, dude, I'm good on 2.
Number 2. Okay, here you go. What was that? The soy bread?
Yeah, I couldn't swallow.
Man, you were marinating that baby in your mouth for a while, huh?
All right, I got a little salami and grape Sammy.
Actually, that sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
That's a great lunch. Why do you have the easy ones?
We did a draft.
I
terrible
picked some
picks.
decent. This is messed up.
Fun fact, I love salami.
I have something on my shirt. Just a little bit.
You look great.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Easy. Here we go. How is it? It's not that bad, right?
Pretty good.
You can finish that later. Pull my brick. Let's get this going. Come on. Here we go. Come on. Yeah, that's just picking easy there. Number 5. Gosh. This one I think I'm not most nervous about, but number 5 for me is this peanut butter and onion sandwich. Now the thing is about this, the onions are very large. Oh yeah.
Was it good?
There's nothing like that. This is it.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, right. All right, let's go out.
Pull for me, dude. Oh, Nate.
I'm sorry. What do we have left?
I got a 4 and I got a 5 left.
Mm-hmm.
Give me something good.
Come on.
Give me something
Come on,
good.
Come on, come on, come on.
I already got a 1.
What's this one? This, it's a 1. Yo, 5.
Is that a
No, it's a
5?
3. Do we have a 3?
I've already had 3.
Okay, let's do this. Put that back. Get in there.
So
Here it
rough
comes.
with it.
Here it comes. What's this? That is a 5.
Shit.
Now this is my favorite because it is.
Just a whole piece of salmon.
Praise
I don't
the Lord.
actually know that I can eat raw salmon.
You're gonna find out real fast.
If I die, tell my mom I love her. And Summer.
Oh, the skin's on
dude.
there. Just get it, Dan. Just tear it. That's what God gave you teeth for. Don't be a bear. Eat like a bear. Okay, that didn't come off well.
I want a bar.
Okay, let's go. I got 2 more. Come on. Come on. We're gonna get this done. I'm so done with this game. I hate games. Here we go. Come on.
Oh.
It's okay. You got it. Just chew it. Swallow it whole. Don't even use your teeth at this point. You're all right. I've layered that with mercury. I'm just kidding. That's messed up. Okay, here we go.
All right. You got a 3 left, right?
I do have a 3. Yes. Okay, so 3 for me is Oreos soaked in orange juice. Okay, now the problem is the Oreos have dissolved. So I don't know if you soup this or just...
Oh, God. Oh,
Okay. Oh, okay.
He's pulling scales out of
Okay.
my mouth. This is all you do.
Last one, here we go.
I don't know that it's the last one.
What is their number?
All I have left is 4. Yeah. Oh, dude, that's too risky.
No, dude, it's not risky.
That's way too
You just
risky.
wedge it around. It's fine.
Nate, that's...
Dude, I got this. Just chill.
Hey, we'll be right back with Nate's punishment. All right, we've got our nasty concoction. We have blended everything up in here. Nate, you get to drink this. It smells like death. Here you go, buddy.
I don't know, man.
How much do you think you could drink? Just do it. Don't think about it. Just do it.
It's okay.
Oh, dude. All right, so Nate's dead. Tim, get off your couch. Take it away.
Hey, what's up, students? Hope you're doing well. Man, I gotta be honest with you. Like, this is pretty challenging for me. This whole quarantine life, and you can only watch so much TV, right? And hang out at home so much before it starts wearing on you. And man, if I'm being completely vulnerable and honest, for me, it's lasted a little longer than a month. You see, about 3 months ago or so, my wife and I decided it was time for me to go see a doctor. I've been having these symptoms, these spells where I just wasn't myself. And so we decided to go see a doctor, and they ran tests, drew blood, ordered an MRI. And going into it, I was anticipating that things would just come back normal and have to figure it out. But the reality is 2 things showed up. One, on the MRI, there was a spot on my brain. And that was scary to receive that news. But then also, they diagnosed me with a certain type of seizure. And tell you what, going into 2020, I wasn't expecting either of those things. And the seizure, it's cool. They're able to give me some medicine and it takes care of that. What I didn't know is, and I can't drive for 6 months. And so I literally feel right now like I'm in house arrest. I can only go as far as I can walk or run, you know? But then there's another element of the MRI. We've gone down this journey for a few months now, seen a lot of doctors. The good news is, any doctor we've seen is, they seem pretty optimistic that that spot on my brain is just something I was born with. But every doctor I've seen always ends it with, we think it's that, but there's a chance it could be something like a tumor. And only time will tell, and you'll have to get more MRIs, and over time we'll see what it really is. Man, that's scary. And when I'm not in a healthy spot, and when I mean healthy, I mean like spiritually healthy, I get kind of frustrated and angry towards God. And I even ask God, like, God, why are you allowing me to go through something like this? I don't know if you find yourself there at all, but I do know, like, over the last few days and weeks, things look different. Like, senior, you received news that graduation, like, you're graduated, you're done, like, but you don't get to walk. And so you've worked 13 years so hard to the finish line that now you don't really get to cross and celebrate the way maybe you thought. 8th grader, maybe you were thinking that you were gonna do some travel ball, like softball, baseball, soccer this summer, and that was gonna affect your placement on whatever team you're gonna try out for in high school. Junior, senior, like prom, it's different than what you thought it was going to look. And all of those things cause tension inside of you. And I would call each and every one of those things maybe like a trial. Like, what I'm going through is a trial. And anytime I got to a place where I'm just in a dark spot and saying, God, why would you allow this to happen to me? I kept going back, and I keep going back to James. So here's why I love James so much, is he's a real dude, half brother of Jesus. And his book that he wrote to a group of believers, a group of Christians, people who've placed their faith in Jesus. He's talking about how to have real faith in a real world. And we can actually look in James, and he's talking to this group of believers that are being persecuted, that have been dispersed in verse 1, it says. And in fact, you can flip over to Acts chapter 8 and read about how they were being persecuted and had to leave their homes and now are being scattered all over the world. And James is talking to these people, okay? So just imagine yourself in their shoes about what James is about to tell you, okay? So no matter what you're dealing with or what I'm dealing with, imagine what these people are dealing with of being displaced, being persecuted, being beaten, being thrown in prison, and even some murdered. And James is coming to them, and in verse 2, here's what he says. He says, "Count it all joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds. For you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness. And let steadfastness have its full effect, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing." If I skip down to verse 12, "Blessed is the man who remains steadfast under trial. For when he has stood the test of time, he will receive the crown of life, which God has promised to those who love him." What a beautiful reminder it is that as a follower of Christ, God never said that life's going to be easy. In fact, we live in a fallen world and there's consequences of sin. And one of those consequences is trials. Like, hard things are going to happen in our life. We read in this church, these people are being persecuted for their faith. In the same way that you're going through a trial and I'm going through a trial, God never said it was going to be easy, but instead he says, man, I'm going to put these trials in your life for a reason, for a purpose. What is that? He says, so that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing. See, God's heart for us isn't just happiness. He wants to bring us joy and peace and all those attributes, but God's goal in our life is to help us become more like him. And the way he does that is through trials. So the way I like to think about trials and God helping us use those trials to become more like Christ, it's kind of like a cake. Like if you think of a cake, there's multiple ingredients. Let each ingredient represent like a trial. And if I were to take an egg and just eat an egg by itself, it's gross, right? Like I don't have to tell you that. Maybe you've tried it, but eggs by themselves uncooked are disgusting, right? And then you have like oil. And if you were to just drink the oil by itself, not very good. Water by itself, you need it, but it's not good, right? And then flour and sugar and everything mixed in, like it wouldn't be good. But what God does is he puts various trials in our life to help us become more like him and to produce steadfastness, to perseverance. And as that happens, trials begin to make sense and they start mixing together. And as life goes on, you're able to look back on various trials and you can see how God used each trial in your life to become more like him. Like for instance, you might look back on a trial you dealt with and you learn that you became more patient through it. Or you look back on a trial and you can see how God used that to grow your dependency on him and his leading in your life. Or maybe you just needed his spirit to show you that you needed to be more kind. I don't know what it is, but God puts trials in our lives so that A, we become more like him, and B, so that we can show the world Christ in us. Problem with trials is they can be hard. And it can be sometimes hard understanding what God is trying to teach you in the midst of a trial. But I've learned that sometimes it's asking God, instead of looking at him frustrated and saying, God, why would you let me go through this? Instead, it's saying, God, what are you trying to teach me in the midst of this trial? And tell you what, when I start changing my perspective and asking God that question, he really begins to reveal what he's really trying to teach me. and that he's not a cosmic killjoy, but he really does love me and care about me and want what's best for me. And my perspective really does begin to change. So I don't want to presume that I know exactly what you're going through and dealing with, but I do know that I have very real trials. And when I read James 1 and counting it an all joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds, and the heart behind that is for God to help us become perfect and lacking in nothing. I read that as an encouragement, that what I'm going through right now isn't a waste, but instead it's like this cake, that God's using it in my own life for me to become more like Jesus, and that he's hoping and helping others see Jesus in me. And so this week, take 10 minutes each day, and whatever you're dealing with, whatever your trial is, ask God, how are you using this trial in my life to become more like you? And then God, how could you be using this trial to point others towards Jesus? Hey, would you pray with me real quick? God, we thank you so much that you're a good God, that you love us, you want what's best for us. Lord, no matter what we're going through and dealing with, Lord, I pray that first and foremost you remind us that you are good and that you love us. But Lord, even if we're going through hard times and trials, God, I pray that each and every one of us can take time and go to you and ask these questions. God, how are you moving and working in our lives? And how are you drawing us closer to you? And how are you pointing and using these trials to point others towards you? So God, we thank you for that truth. I pray these things in your name. Amen.
Thanks, Tim, for that super important reminder. As Christians, when we go through trials and we persevere through those, we do have hope, and ultimately that perseverance, it builds our faith, which is awesome.
Yeah, super important to remember. Hey, before you leave, we got a couple announcements for you. After tonight, we actually have small groups going on, so if you don't know the code for your small group, text your leader, DM us, and we'll hook you up. Friday, we also have Zoom lunches, so bring your packed lunch. We'll see you there. And also, all this week, don't forget, we're bored. Send us your TikToks.
And guys, right now, we are anxiously waiting to be back together. So to really illustrate this, we have another TikTok we're going to show you.
From all of us here at Student Ministries, we miss you, we love you.
Peace out.